Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Omnibros Live on a Thursday night. Today, we're going to talk some cool manga news, some first impressions, and all that fun stuff. So, welcome, everybody. It's your boy Gio here, letting you know somewhere out there, please let Marvel know that the Inhumans do, in fact, need an omnibus. It's a shame. I don't know what's happening over there, but please let them know. Please, 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 please. And I am joined by the insufferable omnibus collector, PP Poo Poo Man. How you doing, PP?
I would definitely collect an Inhumans omnibus, as I am the omnibus collector. So,
oh, hell yeah.
It has my seal of approval.
Yes. Thank you. So welcome. I hope you are doing well, sir. It's been a minute. Lots of interesting developments in the manga and anime world out there. Some crazy stuff happening from the Crunchyroll and Funimation thing, which I thought was pretty funny. One aspect of it I did not like, but the rest of it I thought was hilarious. And the meltdown that ensued online, I'm like, okay. So that's been happening. I got some first impressions for you guys on a new series from Manga Plus. We got Astro Baby, and I got some thoughts because it's an interesting first chapter. We got some licenses announcements from both Kodansha and Seven Seas Entertainment that are pretty interesting. Nothing revolutionary like Viz last week, but pretty cool nonetheless for a lot of people out there. So, howdy, y'all. Thank you for joining. And today is Thursday, which means we got to plug our wonderful sponsor. That is, of course, In Stock Trades, your home for all things collected editions. You get your omnibus, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, manga, and so much more for great deals that range from 42 to 50% off at times. All the deals of the week, every week, if you will. If you make an order in the US, you get free shipping after $50, and the loyalty discount adds an extra 2% discount to your orders if you make them on a week-by-week basis. Fantastic packaging, great customer service, only when you visit instocktrades.com, your home for collected editions, and of course, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. And let me show you, here we go. Let me show you the website, of course, as we like to do. Some of the deals of the week. These will be gone by next Tuesday at noon Eastern Standard Time. You got that Captain America Epic Collection. You got the Creature Commandos presents Frankenstein Volume 1. It's already damaged, so you can get it for $10, 60% off. That's crazy. Also, My Cute Little Kitten Volume 2. It's a manga. It's rare that we get manga as a deal of the week. So that's pretty awesome to see. Of course, you got Peacemaker Tries Hard. You got the Question Omnibus, which I guessed correctly back on Monday, along with Superman versus Meshi. Somebody asked me in the chat, what do you think the deals of the week are going to be? If I had to guess, I would say Superman versus Meshi is going to be in there, and I would like to see the Question as well. And there it is, 50% off on both books. Some of the new releases here. Got Aya, Lesbian Brothels, why not? Batman Justice Buster, Dragon Ball Super. You got the Disney Mickey Fantastic Features Classic. That's an interesting title. And of course, the top sellers down below with that Vinland Saga making it all the way almost to the top 5 at the In Stock Trades top sellers list. That's pretty cool. We got, and of course, the famous ROM hanging in there, barely making it. I got my conspiracies about it, but that's a topic for another day. So, yeah, all you got to do, guys, after we're done here, go check out In Stock Trades and buy some cool books. And a quick reminder, before we get on with the show, we will be doing the gift card giveaway, valued at $50. If you're interested, that's courtesy of our sponsor, In Stock Trades. That will be on the last Monday of the month. All you got to do is show up, participate in the chat. We're going to pick out a winner by the end of it. So hope to see you then. Phew. All right. We're done. PP Poo Poo Man, it's been a while. How you doing? Do you haul anything interesting that the audience would like to see?
I have a small haul here with me. I know I got a lot of stuff since last week, but I can't remember what all came in since last week. So I'm just going to show the stuff that I just grabbed today, or just
Nice.
in the mail today. One small volume of manga, Dragon Ball Super Volume 20. This is the end of the Granola the Survivor story arc, and starts up the arc that focuses on Trunks and Goten going to school and stuff, and they are acting as the Great Saiya Men, X1 and X2. So yeah, so ending one arc, going to the next one. Then a pretty big Blu-ray release from Discotek Urusei Yatsura Collection 4.
Hey, nice.
Episodes 150 to 195. So the end of the TV series. So we've got all 4 of these sets, as well as the 6 movies. And then the upcoming OVA collection will be the last Urusei Yatsura set, and they'll have released everything. So if you are a fan, that's one to grab. And the big one, Vinland Saga,
Oh, look at that bad boy.
deluxe hardcover, volume 1. I did a on my TikTok, I did an overview, very detailed overview about the book. I think my favorite thing about this is so there's going to be different runes on the books. If you look at like some of the other volumes that we already have the pictures of, you'll see that different runes, I believe, also in different languages. And when I was talking to the guy that designed the book, I asked him about the runes, and he said, well, we're actually going to include notes in the book itself. At the back, there's a page that says about the cover, and it gives you notes about what those runes mean, how they are translated. It gives you the original Old Norse, and then Old Norse in Latin script, and then a transliteration, and then the English translation. So you get everything that you need about the runes, and a little bit of stuff about the seals that they're putting at the front of these hardcovers. So
nice.
These are expensive at $55, $54.99 to be exact. They're definitely expensive. They are way, way pricier than getting the standard hardcovers. But in my opinion, as a big fan of the series, and have been a big fan for a little while, this is an incredible presentation, and I highly recommend at least looking into it. I'm probably going to do a deep, detailed look at the book on my YouTube channel as well. So if you want to get a better look at it, but in the meantime, definitely check out what I put up on TikTok. It's like a 5-minute video or something going into deep detail. So yeah, check that out and make an informed decision on whether you want to purchase this book or not. We don't want to FOMO you too hard here. I will say that I believe this will stay in stock for a little while. So you shouldn't have to worry too much about it disappearing on you.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I do plan eventually to upgrade, but since I don't have a way to sell my copies, I don't know. I'll skip out for the time being. Who knows? I'm pretty sure Kodansha will want to keep this in stock, so I have no problem waiting.
Yeah, especially for a longer series that's ongoing like this, and that's so highly praised and whatnot. They're gonna want to keep these kind of rotating in stock, each of the volumes of this, because releasing, like, by the time they get around to whatever the last volume is going to be, like 10 or whatever, if the first 9 are completely out of stock and then 10 releases, you have a very small selection of people that are going to actually be able to buy it. So it makes more sense for them to keep it in stock by just doing small print runs. Whenever it goes out of stock, just doing another small print run, putting it out there, keeping it rolling.
Oh, what's the word that they use for the collected editions? Evergreen.
Yes,
It should be an evergreen release. That's what I wanted to say.
I think it will be kept evergreen, but like with small print runs and not
Yeah.
huge ones, like small reprints.
Mm-hmm. Oh, this is very important. Hold on. Aside from Vinland Saga, Spud Boy, thank you so much. Psyched to be catching a stream live for the first time. Thank you so much. Appreciate
Welcome.
it. Welcome aboard to the madness. And I think you'll like this comment from our friend Bob Fisher. It started in the clear moonlit dusk.
Yes,
I really enjoyed it.
absolutely.
Oh man, let's go. H Field, thank you for joining. Javier. Bob also started the illustrated guide to Monster Girls. Cute so far. Nice. True Graphic Novel has a double header here that's awesome. If I can find the freaking comment. Oh, here it is. Started reading Berserk already on the second deluxe edition now. It may be my favorite read of 2024 so far. Nice. You are in for a treat. It's going to get dark and heavy, but hang in there. You're going to like it. That's awesome. Next, imagine 2026 will be the year of the Inhumans. I predict 2 to 3 Omnis to coincide with their 60th anniversary. I'm going to hold you to that. I don't know what will happen in 2026. We're still going to be doing YouTube, or YouTube implodes or whatever. But if it's still around, I'm going to hold you to that next Imagine. We'll see.
Wait a whole another 2 years just to start
I know.
seeing some Inhumans Omnis.
It's so frustrating. I mean, I understand why the prediction, but like, damn, 2026.
Have you already like mapped it all out for yourself, like what you think there should be?
At least a Silver Age one. A second one, oh, I think I did this on a live chat once. A second one would be by right of, oh my gosh, Birthright, by right of birth, whatever it's called, the standalone graphic novel. Along with Inhumans, the Maxi series, that was 12 issues, and the crossover with, I think it's Fantastic Four, Atlantis Rising.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe you can include the Jenkins stuff in there for an additional 12 issues. You can do a third one with, or no, sorry, leave the Jenkins stuff alone, because then you would do a third one that would include the Paul Jenkins run. It would include the 4-issue mini series where they go to the moon for the first time to live there. Then you would do the 4-issue series where it was after Valeria is born in Fantastic Four. So it's Mark Bagley doing the art, I think. And then thankfully the War of Kings stuff is already covered. Same with the Hickman and Human storylines. Those are on the Fantastic Four omnibus, so we're good there. And maybe you can do another one with Infinity, this Infinity stuff, where we get Thane, the son of Thanos. Spoilers, I guess. And that leads into Inhumane, or Inhumane, and that goes into the Charles Soule stuff, Uncanny Inhumans, and yeah. So about 4 Omnis. Sorry, guys, we're on an Inhuman tangent here on the Manga Show, but it's pretty cool. We'll see what happens. So I posted a haul video, and I on my channel, if you guys are interested. Lots of stuff delayed, so a bunch of the items there are from like some are even from last year, and some from January, and a little bit from this month. So it's pretty crazy. I did. Where is it? Where is it? Oh, this is one of the new ones that I got. The latest ones that I got. Steel of the Celestial Shadows. And this is going to be on a video that I'm posting soon, along with a bunch of other stuff that I've read, a part of my reading blog series. And I got Tokyo These Days. Finally arrived. This was held up I don't know why it took so long for it to arrive, but it's cool. And it has a funky smell too. I don't know if it's just me, right? Maybe the pages or something. I don't know. It smells different from a regular hardcover.
It does smell a little bit different.
Smell gang, hashtag smell gang. So that's what I've been hauling. Do you think Dark Horse Deluxes will start going out of print now that a couple of them are completely printed? Now that a couple of them are completely printed. For Berserk, no, that sells a lot, and they're not going to let that go out of print.
Yeah, the Berserk sells so much that they like the company kind of adjusted what they do because of how well Berserk sells. Like,
Yeah, it's a monster in terms of sales.
so I think if anything, like you might see periods of time where like Hellsing is unavailable since it's only 3 volumes, but they'll like bring it back out, which
Mhm.
they've already done. Um, Blade of the Immortal, I they tend to keep something in print for that one because it's another high seller for them. So they might like rotate back and forth between the paperbacks and the hardcovers since they have different audiences that like to get those.
Mhm.
But I think something about the hardcovers thus far is that they've pretty much more or less been evergreen.
I'm looking right now, and at least the omnibus hardcover editions are all in stock at the Crunchyroll store and other websites like In Stock Trades. They have them as well. So, also, gang, guys, bam, my peeps, do not pay. Here's a quick tip. Wait, I'm all over the place. Sorry. In Stock Trades has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, at least 9 of them right now in stock. So that's good. I got a little tip for you guys. Do not spend $55 getting the Vinland Saga Deluxe hardcover. Go to In Stock Trades because it's still in stock for 35% off. So you'd be paying $35. That's better than paying $55. And if you have the loyalty discount, the amount would be how much?
You'd save a
$34.
yeah.
34.64. That's pretty cool, guys. I remember when with the Berserk ones, it was like $32. So yeah, a little bit pricier, but beats paying retail price. Go ahead and check out our sponsor. Alrighty. So what do you want me to talk about first? Licenses?
So what do we got? There's Astro Baby, some new licenses, and then talking about
I got Kodansha and Seven Seas,
and
and
then
then
talking
Astro
about
Baby.
Funimation.
Sure, we can talk about Funimation. Why not?
Let's do Funimation real quick.
So let me find the post to the press release.
But basically, what happened with Right Stuff going away and everything just going to Crunchyroll is now the same thing. Like, the Funimation merger happened before the Right Stuff one did, but now we are seeing it officially take place as of April, I believe.
Let me zoom in because you can hardly see it. There we go.
April 2nd. So yeah, announced in March 2022. So it's going to have been over 2 years of continued service at Funimation. And as far as I have heard from the industry, or as far as what I was told, when I was looking for contacts for people somewhat recently, is that Funimation has basically just been a shell company, and it's all been Crunchy, and they're just, still were using the Funimation service
Mm-hmm.
until now. And now they're finally just dropping the facade as of April. The
Yeah.
the biggest changes though, and I think the things that people need to pay attention to the most is A, the price for Crunchyroll is higher. Like someone said, it's like $100 a year.
Yeah, the yearly subscription. I think that's the only one that they announced, not the other stuff. The yearly one went from like close to $60 to now $99, $100. Like holy crap, that's a price increase. Like Netflix would be like, we're gonna raise it $2. These guys went like, you know what, we're gonna raise it $40. How about that?
Yeah.
I pay it on a monthly basis, but I didn't get any alerts or anything, so I think that will remain the same for now. Doesn't surprise me if they do change it because everybody's uh, raising prices. So
the
also, sorry, go ahead.
the other part that I think is the biggest thing for everyone to pay attention to being if you had digital copies of stuff that you purchased or that came with your physical copies, you will no longer have those.
I mean, sorry, I shouldn't. My bad. My bad.
This is the thing that, you know, so many physical media collectors like myself and yourself and all of us that, you know, are on this channel
That's
have
what we've been preaching for a while.
yeah. Like I personally have never ever like ever since digital copies first became a prevalent thing.
Mhm.
I don't even think I was in college yet when I first saw like digital copies of stuff starting to pop up and like that you could buy digital copies. At least that's when I paid attention to it. I was like, no, I'm not doing that because I'm not gonna own them. I know that
Yeah, they're not yours. So
yeah, I'm essentially leasing long term, like, and it's a lease that can be broken by the owner who is them, but not actually really them because it's like they're also just leasing the license and then giving it to us, and then
yep.
whenever the actual license holder is like, oh well, that company doesn't have it any longer, so whoop, you don't get it either. There's just so many little things about it, like layered stuff about what
Mhm.
you know what they do and what you get and what you don't get, and it's just from the get from years ago. I was like, no, I'm not buying into this stuff. If I get free digital copies, that's cool. I'll give them to people because I don't use them, but I'm not buying digital copies of anything. Like if I'm using anything digitally, I'm pirating that shit.
Yeah, it's like this is a big apartment, and you're just buying the keys so you can enter the apartment and watch the thing inside, and then close it once you're done. And then one day you're gonna go back in, and they took everything out, and you're like, "Oh, what happened? Well, we moved. Sorry, can't use it anymore." So if you really, really, really like a show and you can afford it, buy it. Please get the physical thing. And if you can't, that's perfectly understandable. And if there's no other alternative, then yeah, sure, sail the seven seas, the high seas, I guess. So this is pretty interesting. Please note that Crunchyroll does not currently support Funimation digital copies, which means that access to previously available copies will not be supported. However, we are continuously working to enhance our content offering. No, you're not, because you're moving to the other place, but okay, cool. So yeah. Also, I don't understand what happened in this scenario where a lot of people online, especially on social media, like Twitter and I guess TikTok, I don't know. They're like, rest in peace, Funimation. We like the actual building. I mean, not the service. Like, rest in peace, Funimation. It's been real. I'm like, they're not going anywhere. It's still a dubbing company that is working on stuff. You know, it's the digital streaming service that's going away, and people were sharing that like crazy up until like a couple hours ago. So that was wild. So yeah, physical media enjoyer gang, let's go. I saw a story about video games recently about this. They said people are just got to learn not to own anymore, or your game.
I ain't even learning
any more of your game. Okay.
nope.
No,
I'm
I
not.
quit streaming, so I don't care. Rest in peace, Funimation. Yeah. And then they were sharing pictures of the building. I'm like, I remember working there so long, Funimation. I'm like, it sucks what they're doing. Crunchyroll. I'm like, they're not shutting down the thing. It's owned. All of it is owned by Sony. That's the big boss. That's the final boss here. So settle down. And I know a lot of people hate Crunchyroll. I mean, they've done some pretty crappy things in the past, but like, settle down. We've known about this since 2022, right? So it just sucks for the people that spent money on the digital copies. Also, in the past, I may have sold some digital copies like years ago. So I thank everybody that spent like $3 or $4 buying my digitals. It's a shame now that they don't work. So rest in peace. So yeah, moving on to manga. Let's go to Kodansha. Only 2 announcements this time for spring. I thought maybe it could have been a little bit more. I was surprised, but some interesting things nonetheless. So Kodansha announced a new manga box set and a new digital series debuting for spring. The first solicit is Fire Force is getting a manga box set. So the first box set will include volumes 1 through 6 and an exclusive double-sided poster. So if you don't own the series in singles and you don't want to get the larger omnibus editions and you like box sets, this is a nice alternative, a way to own it. How many boxes are we looking at? Like, because it's the final volume is like 34 volumes, right? Or 33?
34. So 6, I guess, maybe. Unless they make some of them 7 volumes long instead. Because they're just, if they do 6, it's going to be one small one at the end.
It's a pretty big commitment. They could have done, I mean, obviously they want to milk it, but they could have done 12 volume box sets, I think, or 10. I don't know. 6 seems a bit small for such a.
That's just Kodansha's stuff is usually around 6 volumes.
Yeah.
When they do the box sets, so that I feel like that's just pretty typical for them. But it's just at 34 volumes. It's just the fact that it's not going to divide evenly. So I'm wondering if they're just going to have. I think with Attack on Titan, they just did small box sets.
I think you're right. Probably like 4 or 5 at some towards the end.
The thing though is it doesn't really matter because they don't make the box sets worth any. There's no value to them. They are the same price as the individual volumes.
All you're getting is the box and the poster if you care about the poster.
Right. So there's no like, I guess with the small box sets for Attack on Titan, there were like little additional booklets and stuff. I don't know exactly what each of those contained, but yeah, Attack on Titan season 1, part 1 manga box set. So they did it to coincide with the anime. So the season 1 part 1 was 4 volumes. Season 1 part 2 4 volumes. Season 2 box set was another 4 volumes. Season 3 part 1 was 3, 4, 5 volumes. Season 3 part 2 was another 5 volumes. And then the final season part 1 was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the final season part 2 was the remaining volumes. 29 and 34.
Okay.
6.
I had lost my train of thought. Sorry. So yeah, I mean, if I had to choose, I had the manga, and then I gave away my copies to Omar. because I chose the anime. I prefer the show instead of the manga for this one in particular. I would still choose the omnibus editions because I've seen those in hand and they look really nice.
Yeah, they are pretty nice.
Uh,
Editions, they still haven't listed anywhere that I can find the final omnibus of Seven Deadly Sins.
they haven't. You're right.
Which is interesting to me because the volumes were coming out like
Every
boom,
month.
boom. Yeah, like they were coming out super quickly. And 13 just came out recently, I think last month, or it was
Mm.
either December or January. And now like we're just waiting on the last one. And I don't know exactly why they've delayed the last one. It's kind of funny to me, but here we are.
Yeah. I need to catch up. I'm like way behind collecting that. The other new release here is a digital license. I have a Crush at Work, Volume 1 over here. This is by Akamaru Enomoto. And this is about Yui and Masugu. They aren't just any coworkers, they totally have the hots for each other. His helpful yet humble attitude makes her giddy, and her cuteness leaves him grinning like a fool. Problem is, they're trying to keep their new relationship under wraps to avoid making things awkward at work, but seeing how they can't keep their hands off each other, they run the risk of spilling their little secret with each passing day at the office. So, sounds pretty cute. And you can read chapter 1. And as is tradition on this live stream, we're going to take a look at it. I don't think this is fan servicey, so we're good. Watch it be like super explicit. I mean, we get banned. That'd be amazing. So we can take a look here at the art. I do like the character designs, pretty cute. And again, if you're interested, I know it's a lot to ask for you to buy the digital copy and read it, but it counts and they take notice. And maybe one day they say, oh, you know what? This sold really well. Let's put out a printed copy of this. So, oh, that's it. So it's a preview. Okay. Of course, you're not going to get the whole series, dummy. There we go. So, yeah, that's what Kodansha is offering for now. We're going to get some announcements later on in the year, of course. And then from Seven Seas, we got 3 announcements. First one being Cat Companions Maruru and Hachi. It's a manga series by Yuri Sonoda. An odd couple of stray cats team up to share the trials and tribulations of life in this heartwarming tale. The first volume comes out in August for $15. And here's the awesome cover. I like this cover a lot. Whoa. You can see homie here with the bow tie. That's awesome. And this tuxedo cat is pretty confident, so I know he's going to be pretty slick. Cat companions Maruru and Hachi. Yeah. So they're going to team up to face life on the street together. That's cool. Next up is a light novel. I'm not going to read this whole thing, but I can tell you a little bit about it just for the heck of it. Witch and Mercenary by, oh boy, Choho Kiteki Kaeru and Kanase Benchi. Action-packed fantasy. A dangerous duo seeks peace in a vicious world. Volume 1 comes out in October for $16. And here's the cover, looking pretty cool. Witch and Mercenary. Wouldn't surprise me if it gets a manga and an anime adaptation as well. That's usually how it goes these days. And the final manga that we have here is Hatsune Miku, Cantarella Poison of Blue. This is by White Flame and Ichika. This thrilling forbidden romance is based on the Vocaloid song Cantarella featuring Hatsune Miku. This is releasing for the first time in English in September of this year for $15. It's not a volume one, so it's a one and done book here. And here's the cover. So I had no idea. I'm like, what is Hatsune Miku doing in a manga? And it's not the usual art style, but that makes sense. It's based on one of the songs. So I am not a fan of Miku, so I have no idea about that stuff. But if you are, that's great.
How dare you?
I know. So any of this catch your eye, or are these passes for you?
Nothing for me this time. I get to save some money.
Yeah, that's probably for the best. I do love this cover though. That's super cute.
Speaking of cats, did you see the Dark Horse announcement?
Dark Horse. Which one?
For the Cthulhu Cat series?
Oh, I think we briefly mentioned it on last week, I think, right?
Maybe. But yeah, Cthulhu Cat coming from Dark Horse.
You got to announce it too on socials, right?
Well, because I saw it before they officially announced it. So they didn't tell me to announce it, but I found it.
I thought, man, that's cool. I thought it was the case. I'm like, oh, that's cool. Let me see if I can find it on here. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Because I do want to share a funny thing that I found. It's manga. Oh, found it. Yay. All right. Yay me. Give me a second, guys. Dead air. This one right here. Cthulhu Cat contains the cutest eldritch horror on this plane or any other. An adorable slice of life manga with an eldritch twist. Ordinary Japanese high school student takes home an abandoned supernatural cat left in a cardboard box. Maybe you shouldn't have meddled with kitties beyond human comprehension. After all, it had tentacles where its whiskers should have been. But it's too late now. With no elder sign on the cat door, soon the pick of the mythos litter starts to invade his house. As furry and feline versions of the other monsters that I'm not going to pronounce and other adorable Lovecraftian horrors blast his mind, whisper in possible secrets, and generally get underfoot. And they even do the thing that I'm not going to pronounce, the gulung, whatever.
Cat relay.
Meow. There you go. Cthulhu Cat arrives in trade paperback September 17th, 2024 for $15. That's cool. I like that. Also, since we're talking about cats, this is a cat themed manga broadcast tonight. I thought this was pretty cute, and I even added it to the thumbnail because I had no idea about this. Manga Up, the service, Manga Up Global adds Yusuke Kozaki's Donyatsu, and it's a it's a cat that's shaped like a donut. I don't know why, but I just found that so funny. A chocolate donut-shaped creature that resembles a cat. Donyatsu walks amongst the rubble of a fallen civilization. He and his friends experience a carefree life in this strange world. But the question remains, where have the humans gone? And what caused this post-apocalyptic situation? An easygoing sci-fi adventure that slowly unravels these mysteries. Or this mysterious beings, I should say there. The manga ended in its 6th volume and inspired an anime adaptation that premiered in 2013. Crunchyroll streamed the series. I gotta watch it now. Crunchyroll Manga previously hosted the manga, but that ended its service in December. So now Square Enix Manga Up Global is now working to adding the Square Enix titles that Crunchyroll Manga previously released on its service. That's interesting. I did not know about this little tidbit of information. Okay. So Donyatsu, everybody. Let me Google Donyatsu. If you guys don't know, it's this little dude here. Oh, look at that. Look. Oh, shoot. Damn. Okay. I know we're off on a weird subject here, but like this vanilla swirl cat is cool, and this is like a cinnamon one. I don't know what the hell this is, but it's like a strawberry shortcake thing, a dog or a hippo or something. And then he has like a bullet hole here that resembles something that out of Ito. And
That
this
looks like Toby's mask from.
oh, that's a good one. Yeah, Toby from Naruto. And the back one here is probably matcha flavored.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, I dig this.
Pink one kind of looks like macaroon or whatever.
Yeah. That's
But
it.
maybe it's a like a strawberry filled donut or something.
And this is the anime for it. Okay. I wonder if you can eat them. I know this is pretty weird to say, but
would they feel pain?
Right.
If I eat,
this is a squirrel. Sorry.
If I eat matcha cat, will it scream?
Oh, I'm in for this. Look, he's even in space. What is happening? Astro Donyatsu. Yo, that's sick. All right. And what I'm watching after this stream. That's cool. Javier is asking, do y'all have any videos on your Blu-ray setups? Like what y'all use to watch your movies and shows? I have videos on my anime collection, but not on that specific request.
I use my PlayStation 4 or my PlayStation 5. Depending on the TV, I have an LG something or other, like 70 something inch TV, and then I have this one I think is like 40 something, 50 something inches, Westinghouse, and I have I forget what kind of receiver or whatever I have out there, but I have some Sony speakers with I think Denon AV system. And then in here, I just have a cheap lit oak, just bar speaker that just sits underneath my TV, and it works fine so that I have better quality sound than what comes directly out of the TV.
Yeah.
So those are my two setups. I don't put that much thought and care into the what I watch all my stuff on, because it looks fine. I don't know. Like I know like Lou has his setup and it goes into detail about everything he's got, and like he talks about, you know, the certain types of things and the certain types of TVs, and he's really big on 4K, and I'm like, I don't know what 4K really is. I'm like, it took me a minute to get myself to upgrade from DVD to Blu-ray, because I was convinced that there was no difference, and I still don't think there was that much of a difference. I think that I think it was all a ruse, and that they lessened the quality of DVDs to make Blu-rays look better.
Yeah.
That's just big brain thoughts right here, and I think
could be. I had a PlayStation 4, but it stopped working. I don't know how to fix it, so I've been using a regular Sony. I think it's Sony. A Sony Blu-ray player. I don't know the number of it. Sorry. It's hooked up next to me here, so I can watch stuff on, because right here you can't see it. I'm not going to point to it, but there's a huge TV here that I use to stream anime and Blu-rays and stuff. And
TV here. Here.
Yeah, the media room outside, I have the PlayStation 5, and I used to use that for streaming on the apps and stuff, but then I figured, hey, that wastes a lot of extra electricity. I might as well just use it on the TV with the smart apps. So I've been using the smart apps there for an LG, one of the OLED TVs. I don't know the number, C2, I think it's called. And then I have a 4K Sony Blu-ray player that isn't like super high end, but it's not like super cheap either. So I like it. I like the quality on it. I do have 4K. I don't go nuts like Lou buying every single thing on 4K. I mostly get like all the big showy stuff. Like you can show it to everybody and be like a demo disc. I like those kinds of 4K releases. Everything else, I'm comfortable with a Blu-ray release, whatever. So like the action superhero stuff looks great on 4K, or an old movie that gets like remastered and it's supposed to look immaculate, I'll get that. But I don't have a lot of 4K stuff, unfortunately, because I mostly watch anime. As you can see behind me, this big ass Billy shelf full of Blu-ray. So yeah, there you go. I hope that answers the question.
I hope it doesn't answer the question.
Riley G, with the 90s X-Men animated series manga finally being collected by Viz for the first time, do you think there's a new solid chance for Spider-Man the manga also being collected and in Toto?
Are we blessing the rains in Africa tonight?
Are we holding a line next to Maginot?
the true best song by Toto.
Hell yeah. I'm sure it'll happen with Spider-Man stuff.
Yeah, I think it just if the X-Men one sells, then they'll bring it back, and other stuff like the Incredible Hulk manga and stuff like that. This one is interesting because I found that we only ever got a fraction of it in English before, so this will be the first time that it's released completely. I think it'll be maybe like 5 or 6 volumes total.
Can you imagine if it doesn't sell well and they drop it, and we just have a reprint of what was previously printed in America, just in a I doubt it. It's a different ball game, and people are going to be excited to pick it up. The regular X-Men fans and the non-X-Men fans that want to consume X-Men manga stuff.
What I'm wondering, let me look and see if they've added since
Next Imaginaut, you should have said it was Toto the band. Damn it. Please continue. Sorry.
What I'm wondering is if I don't think they've put the they haven't shared the dimensions yet. We know it's the first volume is over 500 pages, and it is a paperback, and that's all we know, and it's $25. So my question is, they keep saying deluxe manga take, deluxe. I'm wondering if it's going to be larger, so like the size of the single issues, because when it was first printed in English, it was just magazine format. Will it be that size, or is it going to be like the signature size? That's my what I'm wondering about it.
Yeah. I'm looking for the blog that they posted on their website for Viz, where they go over the fall releases, and I cannot find it for the life of me. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Do you know the link for it?
Not offhand. Did they put the link on their Twitter or anything, or maybe they put it on their Facebook.
Hold on. Dang it. I'm going to get it. I said I wasn't going to talk about it, but I'll talk about it.
Yeah, Gio was not going to talk about the Viz releases.
It's old news. Everybody already knows them. I already freaking pre-ordered some to help out the sales and everything. So, and I don't even do that for anybody, just for friends.
We were thinking about delaying last week's stream so that it would be like, I had brought it up before we knew when the announcements were going to be, but I couldn't do Friday night because we were going to do like instead of Thursday, we were going to do a Friday show to cover it, but I was busy because I thought it was going to be I thought it was going to be tomorrow, not the first Friday of the month.
They couldn't wait. Those bastards. Found it. Okay. We saw all these announcements. Blah blah blah. Cool. Yeah. Lots of cool stuff. Blah, 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 blah. I'm looking for the X-Men thing.
You just passed it.
Oh, X-Men. Oh. Okay, I apologize. This is not what I was looking for. I'm looking for. Hold on.
Hold on. Just all of their tweets put together.
I know this sucks. We did that for them. I'm Googling. So I guess I'll ask to buy some time while I find something here. What was your favorite announcement from this? Even though everybody already knows the answer.
Oh, dude, I don't know. There was so many good ones. Like, it was such a good round of announcements. I think I was very excited. Number one, because we almost got a bingo twice. We had two 4 out of 5s on the board, not even using the free space.
Nice.
That was super cool. But they announced it was definitely a day for Colleen. Like, Colleen had wins left and right. I'm very excited about Red River, of course, coming back into print, and a lot of it is like similar to the idea of like, oh, if the X-Men one does well, will they do Spider-Man? If Red River does well, and this is what I'm way more concerned with personally, if Red River does well, are they gonna do similar reprints for other classic, not just shoujo, but like classic Viz titles that have not been in print for a long time? There's been a change at. It's very, very clear. There's been a change over at Shoujo Beat.
Yeah,
because they were not about to do stuff like that just a year or less ago. So it's very, very cool to see them announce something like Red River. They're continuing their focus on Ayazawa with another series from her. Colette Decides to Die, which is the one that Colleen fell out of their chair in excitement for. The JoJo's spin-off and art book. I don't think the art book is going to be the same dimensions though as the Japanese version, and it's not.
I think it'll be like the one that we had before.
Yes, I think so as well, because that trim size has become kind of a standard for their art books.
Yeah.
So I
keep yours. Keep your deluxe edition from Japan.
Yes. Let me pull it out real quick. Sounded dirty, but
that's how we like it.
So the Japanese one, and this is, to be fair, this is the ultimate edition. This is the Japanese one. It's got this box that has a spinning wheel that, damn it, like the art spins. And like you can replace like the faces of some of the characters and stuff on the cover. Within the silver box that it comes in is the art book itself, which is huge. Like that's almost as big as my forearm, or it is as big as my forearm without my hand.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the art book itself, but it also comes with 2 smaller books. This Hirohiko Araki.
I don't think we're gonna get that.
No. And then the
Yeah.
other one is a guide to all the stands. And I doubt that we're going to get this as well. So I think we're not going to be getting those 2. And the book itself is going to be significantly smaller than the Japanese version.
Yeah.
And so with that, if you happen to be like me and have purchased the original version or the Japanese version, it's probably going to be worthwhile to keep that Japanese one.
Mm-hmm. I was trying to find the Penguin Random House listing for the X-Men manga. That's what I was looking for. Can't find it. I don't know how to search through that damn website, so I apologize for the dead air. But that is what I was trying to look at for the trim size of the book. But I do know that it's like 500 pages, so it's going to be a thick boy. I'm probably in the minority here. I am excited for a bunch of the stuff that got announced. I wish I could buy every single one. I will try. But I got like really excited for the, gosh, I'm going to sound like such a fake manga fan. The Pokemon Pocket Edition hardcover thing, because I've always wanted, and I've said this on socials, not on here, I've always wanted to see Nintendo put out, or the not Nintendo, Game Freak put out a coffee table book, like an encyclopedia of the freaking Pokedex. And I know this is not it, but it's close enough that I still want it. And it covers almost all the 1001 Pokemon that are out. And yes, I will be getting Red River and all that stuff. So yeah. Colette was one of the first things Colleen recommended I should get. And I'm like, I have a feeling that will get announced someday. So I'll wait. It's all right. It only took like a year and a half since that conversation, but here we are.
This was without a doubt one of the best rounds of announcements that we've had in a while.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And it was funny because like I saw at least a couple people who were like, I don't know what most of this stuff is, and they were like not happy, and I'm like, dude.
I mean that's sort of the point. You want new stuff to expand your horizons and your noggin to read new stuff.
The first time in a while that there were actually like announcements for things that are not like just brand new. Like we got announcements for kind of like classic titles, which is not typical for Viz. Viz usually focuses only on like new stuff. And then for like shoujo, they just focus on like they'll put out a 10-year-old title or something that's been finished for a little while. But they did a currently ongoing the Otaku Vampire one.
I'm excited for that.
Colette is long. It's 20 volumes. They're doing 2-in-1s for that, by the way. But it's a long series. And then Red River is long and old. So like they were treading in unfamiliar territory, which makes it a little bit, it's more exciting, but also makes it harder to assume what their next move is going to be, which is exciting. I like that. Like I like not being able to predict the types of things that they're doing, but I was able to predict a few things. Like I said that they were going to do Trillion Game, and I said they would do the Eiichiro Oda Wanted short story collection. So I was right on those.
Yeah. So there you go. Go pre-order those books. We don't sponsor the Bezos, but I saw that Red River is already at the top of the charts. So that is excellent. Viz did their job of putting this stuff out there for people. So it's now you guys. It's up to you guys to follow through and order the book and get it. So if you're interested, please pre-order and buy.
And it's definitely like if it does well enough, that's how
you send a message that you want more, and they're going to put up more stuff.
And they're like, you know what, these, maybe reprinting these things is gonna be worthwhile,
right? Two more questions before we move on to the final subject here. Phantom Fool posted this a while ago, and I've been scratching my head because I'm not 100% tonight here on this stream. I do apologize. I can't believe Tanabe beat Astro Boy or Lone Wolf and Cup. And for the whole, since you posted this, I've been going back to it. I'm like, Tanabe. What the heck are you talking about? Astro Boy, what? Go Tanabe, Astro Boy, Dark Horse. I'm like, the Dark Horse Deluxe, the hardcovers. Okay, gotcha. So hell yeah, of course.
I can believe it. I absolutely can believe it because it's a single volume release. It's an easy one to put out. It's something that obviously has sold well enough.
It's sold, yeah, exactly.
Whereas the thing that you have to consider with Astro Boy and Lone Wolf and Cub is the hardcovers will more or less be a direct translation of paperbacks, and there's a lot of people that are not going to want to spend 2 times as much for a hardcover as they did for the paperbacks. Like they're going to be like, yeah, I get that it's a nicer edition, but not everyone thinks like that. Not everyone is like myself or others that might be watching this where they're like, it's bigger, it's nicer. They're like, I can get the same thing for half the cost, even if it is smaller. So, but something also, Go Tanabe's artwork is, I won't say that. Maybe I will say it. Watanabe's artwork is definitely more. It looks nicer on those oversized pages.
Than for sure.
Osamu Tezuka's on Astro Boy does.
Yes,
and I would argue also most of the artwork from Lone Wolf and Cub as well. And that's coming. I have the gallery edition or whatever, and it's great, but like a lot of the artwork for the series it's still like it doesn't have as much. Like, go compare Tanabe's artwork. The amount of detail put in there is insane.
Yeah,
there's it from the moment that they released those books in English, I was sitting there begging to have them put in oversized format. Because it's just it deserves it. It deserves to have that treatment, and I love it. It
really does lend itself for the bigger format.
I'm so happy they did that. They Carl over at Dark Horse told me that the next one was going to be a single volume, and I wish that I had considered, because I was considering the Go Tanabe stuff as a series of like stuff, and so when he said that it was going to be a single volume release, it didn't click for me that could have been it. And I've been like, literally, you can go back to the video I made a couple years ago where I talked about what the next hardcovers from Dark Horse should be, and I think Tanabe was like my number 8 or something, or number 7, just stating like the atmospheric and moody artwork needs to be on oversized pages. Like, these tiny manga pages are not sufficient at all. So I think like the more that certain stuff sells, the more that they're gonna know. And the reason for Lone Wolf and Cub though is there's a license reason with that one. There's something to do with the because sometimes I don't know if it's all the time, but at least sometimes with the license that the publishers in the English have, they're only able to put it out in certain size. And so essentially what I've been made to understand is like they don't have the license in English for the oversized pages of Lone Wolf and Cub. that's why that hasn't happened. But in other languages, like I think in France, they have an oversized deluxe edition of it. So it's just a matter of time. Like Trigun, for instance, it took them 2+ years to negotiate with the license holder in Japan to allow them to put that into oversized trim. So it's a matter of time, but eventually
Yeah.
they can do these things. Part of it just means that the publisher in Japan for Go Tanabe's works was more okay with them doing this type of release for that.
Trigun announced next. Well, it's coming out in like 2 months. So
Yeah, Trigun was announced sometime middle of last or early summer last year. I
I
know
think
that
it
it
was.
had already been announced by the time I talked to Carl about it, and that's I was like, I essentially what I asked him was, I told him, the deluxe edition line's great. I'm so happy that Trigun's happening. Um, I'm sure y'all have more up your sleeves, like anything you can tell me. And he was like, we do have like I think he said we have 3 series that we're working on right now, like trying to get the license taken care of. The next one will probably be a single volume release, and that's what he told me. And here we
Yeah.
are. The next one was a single volume release.
Bingo. Um, I'm not sure, but I feel like Lone Wolf and Cub would need to be rescanned as well. The digital volumes don't look the crispest. They could be crispest. Yeah, I could see that.
I don't know if they would have access to the files that France has. I don't know what's going on with that, but
They should talk it out, be friends and stuff.
yeah, come hug it out, guys.
Who do we petition for a Blackjack reprint?
Kodansha.
Kodansha and the Tezuka thingy on social media. I always see their posts. They're like, today we're announcing. I'm like, oh, Blackjack, this influential series. And they just post like pictures of it. I'm like, damn it. Okay. Cool. Yeah. So the final thing we're going to talk about before we answer more questions from you wonderful people is this new manga that came out, I think 2 weeks ago. No, a week ago. Sorry. But we were busy with previews and stuff, so we didn't talk about it. And that is, of course, Astro Baby. This is by Shiro Moriya. You all might know this creator from Soloist in a Cage, which was released by Seven Seas. Did that come out already? All 3 volumes?
Yep,
Or
volume 3 is right here.
oh, there we go. Nice.
I
So
haven't,
yeah,
but I've been enjoying the heck out of it.
so you already know that there's going to be good art and an interesting plot to it. So, what the heck is Astro Baby about? The summary says the remote town of North Hill has been quarantined to prevent the spread of, and I'm going to butcher this. I'm going to go by my gut and say it's pronounced in a certain way. Somebody's going to correct me in the chat. I know it. The mysterious Cooper, however you pronounce it. I think it's French disease that is turning people into cannibals. Young soldier Billy returns to his hometown for the first time in 6 years for the woman he loves, but what horrors will be awaiting him? So I went in completely blind, not knowing the description. I read it afterwards. I'm like, damn, yeah, that's pretty accurate. So this story is amazing, or at least this first opening chapter. I am on board, and it's wild to me that we're getting a shonen cannibal series. Okay, let's do it. So the story starts out. This first chapter, there's only one out, but it jumps between 6 years before the main story starts, and then it goes back to present time. So this is young Billy over here, and we're probably gonna get yellowed for showing this, but whatever, you know. You got some chunky bits right there falling off the neck. So in this town, something happened that people maybe associate with a large meteor that landed in that town, and they mention it here. I'll pull it up in a second. That sort of kick-started some organic revolution evolution thingamajig, which I guess unleashed this pathogen out there. And they make the comparison that it's not like other coronavirus, for example, where it's transmissible via droplets of saliva or whatever, spit, spraying nonsense. So this is totally different. It's akin to maybe like a zombie thing, but it's not really a zombie. Even when these cannibals bite you, you're not going to be infected and you're not going to transform into one. So it's not like that. And that means that there is a possible solution or an end goal for this invasion or sickness. They can quarantine the whole city and take care of it and isolate it. It's not going to spread around the world. But there is some legal issues because they think, well, maybe we just kill off all the infected and that's it and we're done. But there's a morality there that's a human rights violation there. And the main character, Billy, this young kid, he is in that town. He escapes. And then 6 years later, I think he's 16 or 17, whatever, he comes back as a young recruit for the army or whatever army they have over there. It's a fictional town, kind of based on like northern Japan or Russia or something like that. And he decides to go back because when he was growing up here in these scenes, he was taken care of by a young lady. She was a scientist or assistant to a famous scientist who died, and he has a crush on her. So he's going to come back to protect her because she knows that in the 6 years she got pregnant. So she is going to give birth soon and all that stuff. So, a young guy, he has delusions of grandeur with romance and stuff. So he's going to go in there and protect her while also keeping the population safe. And yeah, that's sort of where it leads off. There is something massive that happens towards the end. I don't know if I want to reveal it, even though it's the first chapter, so it's not a huge spoiler. But I'll just say it is violent. It's serious. The dialogue, there's a lot of talk about that moral issue where I said of taking care of quarantine individuals. And it reminded me of those news stories that we saw out of the Chinese cities that were quarantined, that they took like extreme measures post COVID, and people were protesting and dying, and it was a whole thing in China. It reminded me of that. So it does take the subject matter serious, and it's not a shonen-y book, even though it's a shonen story, even though it's for young kids or teens, whatever. I was fooled by the label here. So let me scroll through the violent stuff real quick. Homie here is a cannibal, as you can see. He's just having lunch, or brunch. I warned her not to tell anyone. Astro Baby. I was very close to saying Astro Boy, but no, it's Astro Baby.
Astro Baby.
Baby. So this is the town over here, and they closed it off. You can see my cursor over here with the mouse. And it has a really nice blend of art styles. You get like the government officials and newscasters are presented in a cartoonish fashion, which I guess could be a social commentary. But then you see the military and all these guys, they are drawn pretty seriously. Homie here's got two icy boogers. That's interesting. Yeah, this is the scientist lady that he meets and falls in love with her. and makes a foolish choice of coming back after 6 years, being a grown up, and there he is as a young man. So this is the current timeline. But in this part over here, she does mention something pretty interesting. I'm not a scientist, obviously. I'm here on YouTube, for God's sake. But she says, where is it? The force of the meteorite's collision caused a reduction reaction in iron, generating organic matter and miraculously bringing forth life. I don't know what that means, but that's probably a clue. I thought it sounded pretty interesting. So it's a disease thing that makes you a cannibal. And fortunately, it's not global yet, though I suspect it'll be different. So, yeah, most of it is catching up. As you can see here, they talk about the virus and all that stuff and how it transmits to other people potentially. And towards the end of this book, the character of Billy decides to confess to the scientist lady, and she's shocked that he would want to propose and potentially marry her. That's kind of weird, but he's a young guy in love and naive, and something happens. I'm not going to ruin it. I want you guys to check it out, but I will say there's a second meteorite crashing down, and the baby part in Astro Baby, there's a reason for that, and the baby kind of freaked me out. And there are like potential alien things involved in the plot. I don't know, but it is solid. It's pretty interesting. I really enjoyed this first chapter and highly recommend it. You can see here the city being quarantined with a huge wall, like on Attack on Titan. So if you're into this sort of thing, you'll be right at home with Astro Baby.
So the Titans are going to come
and eat everybody.
I mean, they do already eat people, so.
Oh, well, now they're going to eat them ferociously. Because in Attack on Titan, they would just take one big gulp and.
Yeah.
Hold on,
what if this is in the same world as Soloist in a Cage? Because that has like walled off city also.
Could be, could be a universe. Let me see if I can show you some of the art here. Look at that. Look at this guy. I'll always be by your side. But she's like, dude, you're like, you're 6 years younger than me. What the hell? And you're a teenager. Let me show you a scene where she's going into labor and the meteorite shows up. This part I really enjoyed. So homie's here, right? He's walking around. I know, I'll go buy a gift for the baby. Look, mama, there's another baby here. The moon's falling. I'm like, what the hell? And it's not a moon. That's no moon. It's a second meteorite. And yeah, it's pretty wild. So I do recommend it. Go check it out. Go read it. You can read it for free on Manga Plus. Astro Baby by Shido Moriya. I'm going to make a prediction and say that this book will get a physical release sometime in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, maybe not from Viz, but maybe from like Seven Seas.
Yeah,
but for sure.
Yeah. Can you give me 1 second? I'm being called to check something out. Give me 1 quick second. I'll be right back. It won't be long. Entertain the chat here for a minute. Or talk about our sponsor if you can.
Oh, yeah, I'll do the sponsor plug. So, InStockTrades.com, your place for all your manga and comic needs. Fantastic prices at up to 50% off or more if things are on deep discount, as you might be familiar. You can get all your if you're in the US, honestly, I feel like their prices are regularly, like they're just normal prices are better than anywhere else. I've been shopping with them for all of my manga as opposed to Crunchyroll, but Crunchyroll does have a few things that they don't have. So that's the only reason I go elsewhere at this time. But their prices are a lot better than everywhere else. Free shipping, as you know, $50 or more within the US. If you're outside of the US, you pay whatever the shipping rate that they have to pay is. They don't upcharge you for it. Great packaging, great customer service. If you have an issue and something gets damaged in transit, they'll help you to return it for a refund or a replacement if they're able to give you a replacement. So yeah, instocktrades.com, official sponsor of Omnibros Live for years now. And I think that's the main thing. And then also the $50 gift card that we do each month. So we'll be doing that at some point in the nearest future, as we do every month.
Thank you.
Yay, I did it.
Good job, sir.
I'm useful.
We're all useful. Spud Boy, yeah, definitely checking it out. What's cool about Manga Plus, I'm gonna contact them since I plug the freaking website so much. I mean, I'm like, hey guys, I sponsor us, you know. What's cool about it, it's free, so you can read it now for free. And next week we'll get another chapter, but next Friday, I think. The artwork for Soloist in a Cage is incredible. This is giving me Fire Punch vibes. It's not as edgy with the shock value and stuff, but there's some cool stuff in there. Seems like a nice guy as cannibals go. There's an angry baby on the cover. The reveal of that baby, because he does show up. I didn't want to show it because it's a pretty cool reveal. That threw me for a loop. I'm like, okay, you had my, what's the quote from Django Unchained that Leo says? Curiosity, something, something. You know what I'm referring to? What is it?
Oh, you had my curiosity, but
now you have my attention. So that's me with Astro Baby. I was pleasantly surprised. Yeah, there we go. The ending of the chapter definitely had me wanting to see more. Oh, for sure. Natsume Book of Friends, out of print or just out of stock? Most of it is out of print.
Well, it's out of print right now, but they are extremely slowly reprinting it.
I only have the first 2 volumes that when they reprinted those, that's when I got them.
Yeah.
And they posted on X like volume 29 is coming out. I'm like, 29? I only got volumes 1 and 2. I'll come back to this in a couple of years, I guess.
I'm missing.
You have a bunch of them, right?
Yes, I'm missing specifically 3, 4, 6, 14, 15, 20, and 22.
Nice.
So I'm not that far off from having it all, but that it's been like at least a year, I think, since I grabbed the rest of it. And in that time, like, the only ones that have come back were 1 and 2, I believe.
Mm-hmm. So hopefully, because they did post that time a couple weeks ago asking what would you like to see reprinted, a bunch of people asked for Natsume, myself included. So for some reason, Astro Baby is reminding me of the Fallout video games. It has that vibe. Yeah, for sure. I can see that. Art style, you mean? Yeah. So I think we can start winding down if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Where can people find you on the internet when you're not here with us, goofing and gapping?
Well, on my channel, The Omnibus Collector on YouTube, I just posted my buyer's guide for all the notable new releases for February. So you can check that out. It's on my channel right now. It's 28 minutes of going through all the new debuting mangas and single volume releases for this month of February. And there's a lot of cool stuff, not just the Vinland Saga Deluxe hardcover, but also other things that we talked about last week on this show. A lot of really cool things. And I was fortunate enough to get early copies from both Yen Press and Square Enix this time. So I got to
Nice.
talk a little bit about one of the highly anticipated books, Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You. So
I'm excited for that one. I can't wait to get it.
so yeah, that's my channel. Also go to my TikTok, also the Omnibus Collector. You can check out the videos that I put up for today. I did one on B strings
Oh,
from
nice.
Yen Press, and I also did one showing that Vinland Saga hardcover. I usually do things every single day over there, so make sure to check that out. And then I'm also on active on Twitter at Omni Collector. And what about you?
You can find me on my channel. That's Manga Geekdom, where I talk about all the manga that I'm reading. I just posted my haul video for February, where I talk about all the stuff I got in January. So I'd appreciate it if you guys check that out. I have a somewhat bastardized version of what you said with the buyer's guide. It's a different twist on it, I guess. So my picks for anticipated releases, not everything in the catalog. And I posted some reading blogs, and I posted a review on Gold Kingdom and Water Kingdom, for example, if you guys want to check that out. A bunch of cool stuff there. I'll give you a sneak peek for all you wonderful people tuning in. This is my next video. Hold on. I can't grab it. There we go. My next reading blog, I'm going to talk about this book. I'm going to talk about this book, Orb. I'm going to talk about this one, Cat from Our World. And I'm not gonna show it because I don't want to get taken down, but I'm going to talk about this and my thoughts on it because it's a short story collection, and I love short stories. So yeah, that's sort of the things I do over there. So with that, oh, and I do have a Discord. Thank you so much, James. I appreciate it. That's the link. Free to join, everybody. We have a lot of fun there talking about anime, manga, video games, comics, what have you. So thank you so much. That's it. Thank you to the chat. You guys are lovely as always. Thank you to our sponsor, InStock Trades, for making it happen every night with every broadcast. We will be back on Monday for hauls, previews, reads of graphic novels, comics, all that fun stuff. And then Wednesday, we're going to do a comic episode. And then Thursday, we're back at it again with another manga stream. So thank you so much. Hit the like button on your way out. Stay safe. God bless. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Catch you on the next one.